What if the next Chinese-linked car you see on an American road isn't imported from China at all? What if it's built right here in America? Because something very unusual is already happening in South Carolina. A Chinese-owned automotive group has a major manufacturing connection in the United States. Volvo Cars has invested $1.3 billion into its South Carolina factory. That factory has an installed production capacity of 150,000 vehicles a year, and it is already producing vehicles for the American market. But here's where the story gets complicated. The parent company behind Volvo is China's Geely Holding Group. And now, Volvo's South Carolina factory is becoming even more important. Polestar 3 production is being consolidated there. Volvo is bringing the XC60 to the plant. And another hybrid model is planned before 2030. So here's the question. Could this American factory eventually become a pathway for more Chinese-owned automotive brands to enter the United States? And if that sounds impossible, there's a problem. America has already created new rules specifically targeting Chinese-linked connected vehicle technology. And in 2026, we saw something that makes this story even more interesting. Volvo received authorization. Polestar didn't. Both are connected to the same broader Geely ecosystem. So how did that happen? Let's go inside the $1.3 billion story. Sits Volvo Cars' Ridgeville manufacturing plant. Volvo broke ground on the facility in 2015. Since then, the company says it has invested $1.3 billion into the plant. And this isn't a small assembly operation. The factory has an installed capacity of approximately 150,000 vehicles per year. It currently produces the fully electric Volvo EX90. And Polestar 3 production is being consolidated at the same facility. Volvo has also announced plans to add its best-selling XC60 to the South Carolina production line from late 2026. And before 2030, Volvo plans to add another next-generation hybrid model. So the factory already has the infrastructure. It already has American workers. It already has production lines, and it already has billions of dollars behind it. But now we need to answer the most important question. Who actually owns Volvo? Owned by China's Geely Holding Group. Geely acquired Volvo Cars from Ford in 2010. And that changes how we need to look at this story. Because modern cars aren't simply American, Chinese, Japanese, or European anymore. They're global products. A vehicle can be designed in one country, engineered in several countries, use components from suppliers around the world, and finally be assembled in America. So when Washington looks at connected vehicles, the question isn't simply, where was the car assembled? The question can also be, who controls the company? Who developed the software? Where does the technology come from? And what happens to the data? Because today's cars aren't just machines, they're computers on wheels. They have cameras, microphones, GPS, cellular connections, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, satellite communications, and increasingly sophisticated driver assistance systems. And that's exactly where the American government's concerns begin. Polestar is an electric vehicle brand connected to Volvo and Geely. And in March 2026, Volvo Cars announced that global Polestar 3 production would be consolidated at the South Carolina plant. Think about that. A vehicle connected to a Chinese-owned automotive group would be produced in America, at an American factory, by American workers. But then something unexpected happened. The US government denied Polestar authorization to sell new vehicles in America from the 2027 model year onward under the connected vehicle rule. Think about what that means. A vehicle can be built in South Carolina, and that alone doesn't guarantee that the brand can continue selling future connected vehicles in America. That is one of the most important parts of this entire story. But then the story takes another turn, because Volvo received a specific authorization from the US government in May 2026. So now we have two brands connected to the same broader Geely ecosystem. Polestar was denied. Volvo received authorization. Why? Because the US process looks at factors including governance, technology, and data security. This means the story isn't simply China versus America. And it isn't simply Chinese owned versus American owned. The real issue is much more complicated. What technology is inside the vehicle? Who controls it? Where was it developed? How is the data protected? And what authorization does the company have? That's why calling the South Carolina factory a simple loophole would be misleading. The $1.3 billion investment is real. Volvo invested that money to expand and prepare its American manufacturing facility. It wasn't announced as a secret method for bypassing American law. But the factory could still become strategically important, because manufacturing locally changes the economics of selling cars in America. Instead of importing a finished vehicle from China, a company can potentially produce vehicles closer to its American customers. That can change logistics. It can change supply chains. It can change the economics of production. And it can make an American factory extremely valuable. But there is a major catch. Manufacturing locally doesn't automatically bypass the connected vehicle rule. And that's exactly what the Polestar case demonstrates. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Geely isn't just connected to Volvo. Its wider automotive ecosystem includes brands such as Zeekr and Lynk & Co. And that naturally raises another question. Could more Geely-linked vehicles eventually be manufactured in America? The idea is worth watching. Volvo's South Carolina factory has substantial capacity, and in May 2026, Volvo CEO Håkan Samuelsson said the company was open to partnerships in the United States as it works to maximize the use of the South Carolina plant. That is significant. But we have to be careful here. There is no confirmed announcement that Zeekr or Lynk & Co. will begin producing vehicles at Volvo's South Carolina factory. So don't confuse a possibility with a confirmed plan. Right now, the confirmed story is Volvo. The confirmed investment is $1.3 billion. The confirmed production capacity is 150,000 vehicles per year. The confirmed Polestar 3 production move is South Carolina. And the confirmed regulatory developments are the most interesting part. Volvo received authorization. Polestar did not. Now let's step back. Why should an American driver care? Geely isn't just connected to Volvo. Its wider automotive ecosystem includes brands such as Zeekr and Lynk & Co. And that naturally raises another question. Could more Geely-linked vehicles eventually be manufactured in America? The idea is worth watching. Volvo's South Carolina factory has substantial capacity, and in May 2026, Volvo CEO Håkan Samuelsson said the company was open to partnerships in the United States as it works to maximize the use of the South Carolina plant. That is significant, but we have to be careful here. There is no confirmed announcement that Zeekr or Lynk & Co. will begin producing vehicles at Volvo's South Carolina factory. So don't confuse a possibility with a confirmed plan. Right now, the confirmed story is Volvo. The confirmed investment is $1.3 billion. The confirmed production capacity is 150,000 vehicles per year. The confirmed Polestar 3 production move is South Carolina. And the confirmed regulatory developments are the most interesting part. Volvo received authorization. Polestar did not. Now let's step back. Why should an American driver care? Because this could affect the future of the American automobile market. Chinese automakers have become major competitors in global electric vehicles. They have invested heavily in batteries, software, manufacturing, and cost reduction. If more Chinese-owned automotive companies eventually find regulatory compliant ways to manufacture vehicles in America, competition could increase. And American automakers would have another challenge to deal with. Ford, General Motors, Stellantis, Toyota, Hyundai, Volkswagen. Everyone could feel the pressure. But there is another side to the story. The United States government says connected vehicles create national security and data security concerns. Modern cars collect enormous amounts of information. Where you drive, how you drive, what systems you use. And depending on the vehicle, potentially information from cameras and connected sensors. The US government therefore wants tighter control over certain foreign-linked connected vehicle technology. So America has to balance two competing goals: more investment and competition, and national security and technology control. And that balance could determine what the American car market looks like over the next decade. There's one sentence I want you to remember. An American-built car is not automatically an American-controlled car. A vehicle can be assembled in South Carolina. Its parent company can be based somewhere else. Its software can come from another country. Its components can come from a global supply chain. And its data systems can create an entirely separate regulatory question. That's why the location of the factory is only one piece of the puzzle. And that's why the South Carolina plant is so interesting. So let's go back to our original question. Will Chinese cars be built in America? The honest answer is more complicated than a simple yes or no. Chinese-owned automotive companies already have major manufacturing connections in America through Volvo. Volvo's South Carolina factory is already producing vehicles. Polestar 3 production is being consolidated there. And Volvo has invested $1.3 billion into the facility. But we cannot honestly say that Chinese-branded cars are definitely about to roll off that production line. There is no confirmed announcement proving that. What we can say is this: the manufacturing infrastructure already exists. The Chinese-owned Geely Group already has a major American production connection. Volvo is trying to use more of its South Carolina capacity. And other Geely brands have ambitions to expand internationally. That makes this factory one of the most interesting automotive facilities to watch in America. Because the next chapter may not be about importing Chinese cars into America. It may be about whether Chinese-owned automotive companies can build American-made vehicles that satisfy American regulations. And if they can, the American automotive industry could look very different. So now I want to hear from you. If a Chinese-owned automotive company built a vehicle in South Carolina, using American workers, and that vehicle passed every U.S. safety and technology requirement, would you buy it, or would you still avoid it because of the company's Chinese ownership? Let me know in the comments, and subscribe to Googly TV for more stories about the American automotive industry, because this story is far from over.